very few artists achieved. So I think that's significant. What I think is significant about it was that his art was inserted into various political struggles on 3 continents, which meant that in Nigeria here, we had a lot of people who, respected Enwonwu's achievements because of his pioneering role. In African American cultures, he was considered one of the greatest artists ever lived. Ebony magazine called him Africa's greatest artist. This was at the time when black artists didn't get significant exhibitions, and Time magazine was already doing reviews of his work by 1949. So when I finished my book and looked at all that, there are several artists, African artists in the 20th century, you could say were important in the post-colonial period. There was none more important than him in the colonial period. And the argument I've been making is that his importance extends far beyond the colonial period into the contemporary world also towards his death in 1990. So that's the claim I'm making today. Was the complexity of Enwonwu's life, and I knew the artist in his lifetime. I interacted with him, and the more I interacted with him, the more I was convinced that there needs to be a very significant amount of work done. That work has now taken me almost 20 years, almost a decade, to accomplish. The writing of the book that I'm launching here today took me 8 consecutive years of very significant work. I'm happy with the final product. It's a summary of my changing modes of learning over the past decade and a half. There is more work that needs to be done. We have a very big problem in our area of work. There are very few scholars who get the chance to actually do the kind of in-depth research I did for this book. And there's a tendency to say, well, Ogbochie has written a book on Ben Enwonwu, therefore we know all that we need to know. No, we don't. There's a lot of work that can still be done on this artist. But more importantly, there are other artists who are equally deserving of this kind of sustained research, and we haven't done that. I know Enwonwu doesn't have a biography. There's no significant document on him. There is actually, I have the only significant thing written on Akinola Sheikh was included in my PhD dissertation. Ben Osawe doesn't have a monograph on him. So there are all these important African and Nigerian artists who have done significant work, but their work is not valued in the global arena because there are not enough books written about them. I would hope that this book circulates very widely in Nigeria. It's already making a major impact abroad.